All right, welcome in everybody. Jason, TCP Super System, back at it again. Again, this channel is truly original. This is my system. I built it. Can't get this anywhere else. Got a good one for you tonight. It's going to be a long form. We're going to talk about the market really briefly, look at a couple charts on both cryptos and stocks. Don't forget tomorrow, Friday night, we will be doing the crypto rapid fire session where we just go through our list of monitored cryptos. If we see something that's worth discussing for the community, we will stop and discuss that chart. And tonight we'll just be pretty brief on a couple of different charts, a couple of different positions we have currently open, and we will certainly look at XRP, and then we'll wrap up. Don't forget the system, signals, interpretations, trades, trade logic, none of it's financial advice, not recommendations to buy or sell. Only share it all for free for informational, educational purposes only. If you get value out of any of it and love technical analysis, please like, share, subscribe, hit that thumbs up, helps the channel. With that, let's get started. So clearly, for those paying attention today, had one hell of a day. We're back over almost 4.08 trillion in the market cap for crypto. Bitcoin broke 120,000, so fantastic. We seem to be holding the line for now. So great day today in the crypto space for those that are in it and out there. So of course, as always, we like XRP. It's our number one holding. To be transparent, XRP and HBAR, we love long term. Yes, for us, for you, make your own decisions. But we will repeatedly visit these charts for our community. So again, I want you to notice something on the XRP chart. We did adjust this slightly today after doing some more analysis. We now have an upper opportunity zone identified for XRP in the short term, and that is 320 to 330. And then this was the bottom zone where they had some previous leverage liquidations, and that was that 260 to 270 mark, which we called perfectly if you go back and look at our videos. But let me show you why I think 320 to 330. And it comes down to leverage. So here's our current leverage liquidation heat map for XRP. You'll notice, that's the wipeout of that 260 to 270. Now we've seen a rise, and we're approaching this level right here. And remember, the brighter the green, the more leverage. So that's where prices tend to navigate toward. So be aware of that if you use leverage. And that is 314, 315. Oops, sorry about that. So 314, 315. And then I'm saying 320 to 330 because they could wipe out some of this here. It's lighter levels of leverage, but if they want to wipe it out, they can go all the way up to 330. So roughly 320, 330 in the short term. From there, I would actually be trading carefully here because you've got the spot ETFs coming in mid-October. I think you're likely to see a lot of volatility in between now and then. Because what I have just a sneaky suspicion that we're going to see this run up prior to mid-October. They're going to liquidate all they can there. At that time, people are going to be all hell gung ho, XRP's king, and leverage up and get prepared for those XRP ETF decisions. And then bam, it's going to wipe it out. Just like it did with Bitcoin, it took about a week or two for them to wipe out the leverage the day of the announcement of the approval. So I think you can see some volatility right around those approval decisions. They wiped out the leverage and then bam, off it took. So wouldn't be shocked to see something like that play out. But again, for transparency, for me, in my portfolio, we have a significant amount of XRP. We never sell it regardless of what my system tells me to do. That's the only one I'm like that on, and HBAR. We do use those opportunity zones that we identify here to add to the position. But we are not selling due to what we think could be the biggest ROI opportunity in my lifetime and probably a generation. So do with that what you will. That's just what I think, and I'm just a guy on the internet that knows nothing. So take it with a grain of salt. So again, and what you're seeing here on XRP, we basically called all of this action the last couple of days and weeks. If you go back and look. And now we've said we really need to maintain that 298 level. And we're hovering in there. We're at 302. If we can hold this another day or two, we're likely to see a trend reversal signal, which will be a yellow up label like this right here. Should be somewhere over here. And if we can stay above that 298 level, we could probably see this run up to that 320, 330 level. Hot sensors are looking good, but what we're paying attention to on XRP here is going to be our standard deviation methodologies at the top. That white line is still in the extremes where we want it to be. The orange and blue are hovering right around the top of that red zone. We want it to penetrate above that, but so we'll see where we go here. We could see some little choppiness right around the top of the cloud, but I would have a sneaky suspicion that we would probably hit this liquidation zone up here prior to the ETFs. So that is XRP. Now, spoiler, our added benefit tonight, stock pick of the next decade. Metaplanet. This is a Bitcoin treasury company, and if I'm not mistaken, you can check me on it. 5th or 6th largest Bitcoin treasury company. Of course, Strategy, I believe, number 1 with Michael Saylor. But they have diluted their stock and leveraged debt, of course, to accumulate capital to buy Bitcoin. And you can see the drop in that stock price from 16 almost down to $4 now. And it had a nice run today, up 12%. We're about to convert this into a trend reversal to the upside. This could be one remarkable opportunity if you believe in Bitcoin treasury companies like Strategy. Again, I'm not sitting here telling you to go buy this. I have not bought it yet. I am putting together some capital to enter and probably dollar cost average up to probably the $5 or $6 range. If I make it in time, I may even miss this opportunity. I don't know, but probably not going to liquidate crypto to do it. But there is significant upside, in my opinion, that could come here if Bitcoin continues on the trajectory that it is. And just to show you a couple things here and how we leverage the system, because this is a good example. You can see back here, this is back in March or February of this year, we had level 3 diamonds. So you got three colors of diamonds. That's the darkest is the best, typically, historically, for us. So you could have got in there around the 183 mark and then saw that thing rise all the way up to 15, 16 bucks. So that's one hell of a trade there if you were able to hit that. Again, we nailed it on the level 3. And people always ask me, well, you had a level 3 right here. Why didn't you sell? And I'm like, that's where the system comes in. So if you get a trend confirmation of an uptrend reversal right here early on, if you get that level 3 really early, and you look down here, you're not in the red in the short term or the medium term. Yes, you're likely to get the retracement, just like we talked about before, where you see a little rise above the cloud, it comes back to the cloud, and then boom, off it goes. That happens all the time, especially when you get to level 3s. But that I would not have sold there just because it's so early. And then what do you know? You stay above the cloud and you ride it, and then look at this level 3. That's where you see the standard deviations way above the extremes with the dark blue X's, the dark brown X's. You've got red on the short-term sensor, hot on the medium-term sensor. That all just screams run. So, and then bam, it tanks. So that's how we use this. And again, you got the confirmed downtrend on Metaplanet back on July 3rd. Saw the downtrend, and now we're starting, or it appears that it's trying to convert this and turn over, and then we may be back for a nice ride higher. So pay attention to that one. Japanese company, the Metaplanet. So again, not telling you to buy or sell, but one that we are looking at very closely. Let's see, what else can I give you tonight? We can look at Cleanspark. Again, if y'all go back and look at the videos, we got in at 1026. We shared that with you on the stream when we did it. We said, you want to stay in this trend as long as you can. There's a level 2 diamond. What did it do? It retraced back to the top of the cloud. And again, when you see that retracement, that short-term hot sensor is only in the gray. That's points higher. And what do you know? We're going higher. And I think in those early videos on Cleanspark, we told you we could likely see this thing potentially hit the 20s and 30s. And if you look at our standard deviations, white lines going back up through the extremes, excuse me, blue and orange are up there with it. So as long as that can stay up there, man, this thing is pumping hard. It's hot. So congrats to those that are in Cleanspark. Like I said, again, we nailed that at 1026. So doing very nicely for the old Cleanspark, which is a Bitcoin proxy company. So anything with crypto based that's based on Bitcoin is probably doing pretty nice right now. So that's Cleanspark. Then we can switch over to crypto real fast, and we'll wrap it up here in the next 2 or 3 charts. Again, Aptos, we shared this with you the other night. This is actually the first trade in our TCP Super System stock portfolio series of videos that's on the playlist. We got in at 452 on Aptos, and now we are trading at 512. So looking pretty good there. We did dip down first, and now we're doing nicely. But this is beautiful. Look at this. Almost straight vertical, all three through the extremes. That is exactly what we want. Now we do see this little retracement there, which I don't necessarily like that. But if we can keep this or hold this, I mean, it possibly could come back to 487. That would be your support now, which is your 200-day moving average. I'd hate to lose. I mean, what is that? 25 cents basically. So 5%. So, but it's worth it. I mean, I think Aptos is a nice one long term. So probably not too scared yet. That's only a level 1. Again, what do we typically see on uptrend changes? When we see our diamonds, it typically reverts back to the cloud and then goes higher. So likely to see that again, wouldn't be surprised, but certainly not exiting Aptos at this time. Hot sensors are gray or white or gray at worst. So plenty of room to run there. We just need these to stay well above that red zone. So that's Aptos. Then we can look at near. Again, near we got in at 282 back here, and I think again we saw that rise up. We didn't sell out there, so it did come back below our entry. Now it's back above the entry, so we're getting some volatility here, but everything looks decent on the hot sensors. Same thing, almost just like the last one. Standard deviations are well above the red zone. We just need them to go a little bit higher. Get a nice little pump there. That'd be nice on near. We'll probably be looking to exit that one when we start seeing some diamonds, but you can see it bounced right off that support. I mean, that was the 100-day, 50-day. So I mean, it was all in there. So great area when you get all three clustered like that. So that is near. We already went over XRP. Just glance at a couple of these real fast. Cardano is starting to look interesting. Solana. Oh, I will go over this. So Solana, again, you'll see we do have a opportunity zone identified on Solana now. That is roughly the 248. Let me pull this down a little bit so you can see it. 248, 254 basically. Again, leverage liquidation zones. So we'll see what the volatility looks like around here when it reaches these levels. If we can convert this to an uptrend, then we'll see where we go. But we got Solana ETFs coming too, so I'm kind of treating this one like XRP. But expect similar things to happen in both of these. So that is that. Probably all I'm going to do tonight. Like I said, if you enjoy technical analysis, this is a truly unique channel. My system can't get this stuff anywhere else. It took me 2 to 3 years to build it. It does a phenomenal job of identifying opportunity zones, not recommendations to buy or sell. But if you want us to run any particular crypto or stock through the system, all you got to do is put that in the comments, and we will try to address that in a video, whether that's a short or long form, and just to help educate the community. So until next time, we appreciate you, we love you, and if you get value out of this, please like, share, subscribe. See you in the next one.